It is a final jury selection time for the trial of former LMPD officer Brett Hankison. He's charged with 3 counts of wanton endangerment for allegedly shooting into a neighboring apartment during the Breonna-Taylor raid. WHAS 11's Grace McKenna is going to be covering the trial. She was in court today as the defense and prosecution continue to select the people who will decide Hankison's fate.
A pool of 48 potential jurors were called back to court today, narrowed down from an original 250. They'll be narrowed down even further to a final jury of 12 with 3 alternates to decide the case.
So you haven't seen him since then?
The prosecution read off 30 names, those who will take the witness stand during Brett Hankison's trial. It includes former LMPD Chief Steve Conrad, in charge at the time of the March 2020 shooting, and 2 former officers there. The night Breonna Taylor was killed, Detective Miles Cosgrove and Sergeant John Mattingly. Though Mattingly filed a motion saying he plans to plead the 5th, Hankison himself will also testify.
Are you asking to be excused?
After questions about schedule conflicts and if they knew witnesses personally, attorneys chose their 15 jurors, 8 from an afternoon group. The other 7 from the morning will be called and alerted.
Breonna Taylor has nothing to do with the charges against Brett Hankison here this morning, and yet she has everything to do with it.
Hankison is charged with wanton endangerment, accused of firing shots into a neighboring apartment during the raid on Taylor's apartment. Hankison's attorney Stu Matthews says jurors will return to the scene on Springfield Drive at one point during this trial. The charges are not directly related to Taylor's death, but to the 3 people inside the apartment next door.
There was also a 5-year-old child there at the time, who's the 3rd count of the indictment.
We'll be back in court Wednesday morning, expecting opening arguments from both sides. In Louisville, Grace McKenna, WHAS 11 on your side.